For sex?
Six.
Sex.
Six.
Ah. Huh?
You are looking for girl?
No.
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 You have girls here? Okay, we're in Fukuoka, Japan, in the city of Fukuoka, and in an area called Tenjin. You can see we're at a big crossroads, a pretty well-known crossroads here, and we're going to take a walk. I'm just not really planning anything today, just taking you for a walk round, and if we spot things in the city, we'll share it with you. You've got the Mitsukoshi department store behind us. What we thought we might do today, Michelle and I, is we're going to walk from Tenjin to Hakata. Hakata is another suburb, and we'll just see. It's a beautiful spring day. We're just going to have a see what's on the streets. So come along. Now, below us is a huge shopping mall. I've put up a video about that on the channel before. You can check it out. I'll leave a link down below. Just to my left here is the Daimaru department store. It's a huge department store and a lot of fun to walk around, particularly in the downstairs in the food section. This is the main drag, the big main road that runs between the two districts. But what I'm going to do is take you off of this road a little bit, because I think Fukuoka is one of the most walkable cities I've been in for a long time. We've really enjoyed walking around. The big roads, they're okay, but what a lot of people don't realize is you can just turn off. Maybe I'll just turn the camera so you can see. So you can just turn off this main road down any of these little sort of minor roads, and there's a whole new experience. They're not just dull roads, they quite often have great little restaurants, interesting little sort of scenery, much more genuine feeling of what the old Fukuoka would have been like. There's a coffee shop down here. Is it very far down, Michelle? Probably another junction down. So on the way to Hakata, there's a coffee shop. They do like to play on the fact that Fukuoka, the short term for Fukuoka is FUK. So there's a FUK coffee up here, which a lot of tourists like to stop at and take photographs, get their FUK coffee mugs, and they're all doing sort of selfies with them. Now Fukuoka itself is I call it a seaside, but it's a port town. Off to my left over here, you've got a great big port area, but as you come in, as the estuaries come in, there are lots of little islands. Well, they're not lots of little islands, but the tributaries that run down to the sea break the city up. So, for example, just next to me here, we've got what looks like a canal coming down, and it goes this way out to the sea. Over there on that side, you've got a district. I'm not sure the actual name of the district, but it's a bit of an island. It's got water all around it. A lot of nightclubs, evening activity that goes on down there. So Fukuoka it's divided up into, like all big cities, into sort of different areas. Right, it's getting really busy, so I'm gonna. Oh look, here's Fuk Coffee. So we're gonna turn off at this little road here. Oh, we got the green. We got the green man, so we can cross the road. I'm gonna get off that big road. So Fuk Coffee, very popular with the tourists. Ha ha ha. Like I say, I like to get off of that main road, and we have walked hundreds of kilometers in these little back streets. There are 7-Elevens almost every corner. There are also, there's another one down there. There are also Family Marts. What's the other one called, Michelle?
Lawson's.
And Lawson's. So these are convenience stores that are peppered throughout the town. So we're going to go down this road. Now this little restaurant here, is that an Italian flag? We're about midday, so most of these restaurants that are on these back roads are closed. Although if they have the norin are the name of these little banners or flags that they hang at the door, that usually means it's open. If they've got the flags up, it usually has the name. There's a great history behind the norin in Japan. Actually, they're there for 2 reasons, 3 reasons, 4 reasons. Keep flies out, keep the sun out, advertise the fact that you are open, but your branding on the outside. So you'll see it. Yeah, I can hear there are people in there. So you'll see it outside almost every restaurant. Quite often some shops have them as well. It's really, really pretty, the different norin that people have. And I've said before about the little cars and the little trucks, tiny little trucks that do delivery. These are commonplace in Japan, and there is a name for this style of vehicle, and it's something to do with the taxes on lower cc vehicles. So there's a whole range. I saw a BMW here that you'd never see anywhere else in the world. I saw a Mazda yesterday that you'll see nowhere else in the world. There's a whole range of vehicles that are available here in Japan you just won't see anywhere else. Now they do have bigger cars. There's one beside me here. So they do have bigger cars, but as a rule I think it's something about maybe 70% of vehicles in Japan. It might be slightly different now with the taxes. They've relaxed up on the taxes.
It's an Irish bar. Beer and fish chips.
Michelle's just spotted this Irish. You're never far from an Irish bar. There can't be that many Irish people in the world, I'm telling you. But you're never far from an Irish bar. And this one has beer and fish chips. You see the lads behind? The norin is beautiful purple norin that's there, and it's open. So they go inside, close the door. Look at that lovely sign. So that says the name of the restaurant, and it also indicates it's open, because they'll take that down. They'll take that down when it's closed. Parking. Just seeing this sign up here. Parking in Fukuoka, parking in Japan in general, I think is quite expensive. So if you own a car, parking here is always every corner. Look, this corner over here, this corner in front of me, they've all got paid to park places, and they're a bit different to what we have in Australia or other parts of the world. I'll just show you. They have these sort of ramps. So when you come into park, the ramp sort of flips up, and until you've paid, you can't drive out. You can see the back wheels wouldn't get over the ramp. So it's quite clever, really. There's no barriers. Might be easier just to have one barrier, because they've got one of these at every single parking bay. So would a barrier be easier? I'm not sure. But it does mean that if you're in bay number 2, you pay for a certain time. I think you must pay as you leave for however long you've been there for, rather than how long you're staying. I'm not 100% sure. Look, here's the little machine. So I expect you put in your number, and then this takes 1,000 yen notes. When you finish that, you can come and get a hot coffee or a cold drink out of the vending machine. The other thing that's quite odd here in Fukuoka anyway is the number plates. They've got a few digits, but they quite often only have very low numbers. For instance, this one over here, just number 21. But I've seen many cars that have just got number 1 or number 6 on them. So there's either not many numbers, or maybe the Japanese writing indicates the prefecture it's from, or the street or area, but they have very short number plates. The other thing I love, and you see so many of here in Japan, are these little 3-wheel Honda bikes. So I think they called it a Honda Gyro. And they're great when you see them going along. The whole sort of bike sort of leans into the corners. There are hundreds of these in Fukuoka. Never seen one in Australia. So it's getting near lunchtime. The queues are starting to form. Have a look here. This is a popular restaurant. You see this time and time again. So the Norin is up at the door. I'm not sure what they're queuing for. Michelle and I have done it before, and just next door the Norin is up on this door. Nobody's queuing, so there's something in that restaurant that's got everybody, all of us, sort of flutter. While the rest of the people are just stopping at 7-Eleven for an onigiri. So we're back out on the main road. A little busier, a little noisier. See how many little Norin you'll spot in this video. Even this one here, where they're little flags. Another one here. I really love them. I've been photographing a lot of them since I've been here in Fukuoka. I just think the whole history of the Norin is really cool. Now we're about to cross a big sort of estuary. So we can head straight down this main road all the way to Hakata, which isn't that far to be honest, but again I'm going to head off down this little road. It just, to me, they're more interesting. And I'm saying they're more interesting, they might not be, but generally we found walking down these small streets just a little more interesting. The buildings become low-rise, they can become much more Japanese in their style, old style Fukuoka. These places are strange. They kind of have like girly, I'm not sure what they have. Hello.
Hello.
How are you? Say what?
Come in.
Come in. What is this? What is this?
Girls.
Girls? Huh?
You are looking for girls?
No.
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 You have girls here?
Girls.
Upstairs?
Stairs. No, upstairs. No.
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 What you are looking for?
Just walking.
Walking.
Walking, yeah, just
Walking.
walking.
Mm.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Arigatou gozaimasu. Now that's really surprising because I haven't seen much of that. I believe, I don't know, somebody would probably have to tell us the full story. In this area there are quite a few of these sort of, I really don't know, I can't call them shops. They've just got photographs of girls and it's something to do with like escort agencies or something. I'm not 100% sure. I told you it gets more interesting off the main street. I think we've come down a club street, Michelle.
I think we have.
Inadvertently. The Cotton Club. Hello. So, just ahead of us is Canal City. This, I'll turn the camera so you can see this sort of red building. Probably can't see it that well, we're quite a fair way off. But that is a huge indoor shopping mall. A lot of the locals love that sort of place. A lot of tourists, should I say, love that sort of place. Do we want to head down here?
I think it's going to hit a canal.
Should we go down?
Okay.
So we're going to go down this little alleyway here. Hello. I think I might have discovered Fukuoka's sort of red light district. What do you think, Michelle?
Possibly.
I think we probably have.
Maybe we're completely wrong.
I don't think we're wrong. I didn't know this was here. Honest Indians, but yeah, what do you think?
Yeah.
It's probably just clubs. Somebody else can probably tell us. But how pretty, we've just come out here. There's a little little bridge going over the canal. Hello. How are you? What is this? What's for? For
40 minutes.
40 minutes.
40 minutes. 1500.
So it's for sex?
6.
Sex.
6.
Ah. Okay. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Only you could ask that.
Michelle says only I could ask it. You've got to know what it is, right? You guys want to know. They are knocking shops. Now look, we're just going to cross. How clear, apart from the umbrella, how clear that water is. So this is old Fukuoka. Behind it is new Fukuoka.
I like the wood they've got up there and down there.
Yeah, a lovely bit of driftwood. But this is nice. This is what Fukuoka, and basically everywhere back here, apart from Canal City, you're going to see these much smaller towns. Sorry, you're going to see these much smaller properties. So look at these. They're all sort of propped up on the canal side with bits of wood, just holding the counterlevers out. This one next door is a lot more modern. Got some beautiful bits of driftwood on the outside. So I think we'd better get out the red light district before we get arrested. Here is Canal City. Now I'm not going to actually do a tour around Canal City. I didn't even know we were going to get here, to be honest, but we will just go through it so you can see what it's like, because it's a pretty little shopping centre and it's got canals running all throughout the shopping centre. So come on, let's take a look. Isn't that bizarre? Just 50 feet from where I am, there's a guy running some sort of brothel, and just over here we've got families out in a shopping centre. And we're just gonna race through here and get back out onto the smaller roads. But you can see how big this place is. You've got everything in here, and it goes miles in that direction. Well, miles, meters, hundreds of meters that way, hundreds of meters that way, several stories up. I think it goes downstairs as well. So straight through and out the back. So we pop out of Canal City, we're back on the main road again. Now when you see the green light flashing, you want to speed up a little bit. You want to get across. You want to start your crossing at least before the green man starts flashing. If he's flashing, you're supposed to not start your cross. So we're getting close to we're between Hakata and Tenjin. I can see Hakata that way and I can probably see Tenjin that way. I'm going to cross over and we're going to go back into the little back streets. So I think there's some great little markets and shops back here. Hopefully not more knocking shops. Never can tell. I was just saying to Michelle that oddly in that, what turned out to be a bit of a red light district, they didn't seem to mind me having the camera. I guess, I had the camera going already, but they didn't seem to mind too much. And they were pretty open. Look at this. Some sort of temple. Now just yesterday there was the actual crowning of the new Emperor of Japan. So it's a holiday week, there's a lot of activity, but we just stumbled into some little temple area because it's kind of open. We've got the streets and roads are over here. These lovely timber arches that they put in front of all their temples. Look at this one here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these pillars with some inscriptions on the side, some writing there. I think these are little prayer donations you can buy and tie probably inside the temple. Look at this Norin here. So pretty this little shrine. I think I might put a little B-roll up with some music so you can see what's here. Okay, so the gentleman kindly let me film the kids. So you shake the bell, and I think they're meant to take a little bit of paper out of the box and tie it on somewhere. Let me have a look around here, see if I can find any little prayers or wishes tied onto a tree or something. So normally they then take one of the papers after they've made an offering and rung the bell, and they tie it on here. I'm not sure the full significance of that. Maybe somebody can let us know in the comments. It's pretty, isn't it? There's these little areas of serenity, and they're all over Fukuoka. You can find them in all the little neighborhoods. A little place you can come in, it's quiet, contemplation. Yeah, I like a lot. There's a beautiful cherry tree here. It's absolutely full of cherries. We've seen a few of these around Fukuoka and the cherries are delicious. We've got a feeling in the temple, maybe these signs say do not pick the cherries. I don't know, we won't risk it. It's nice, isn't it, Michelle?
It's a really old roof there.
It is, and this little, I don't know what this is here, another little shrine, but these are huge, great big slabs of slate stone laying on top. Very pretty. I'm loving this place. I found lots of little shrines. I actually videoed another one that I'm going to pop up as some B-roll in another video. I won't do it here because it detracts from what we're filming, but I love these little shrines. And back out onto the street, and this is where you get lost, isn't it, Michelle? Because we're not sure, we're wandering around in there. I'm not sure which direction. We could end up either going back or towards Hakata. I think Hakata is this way. We have a look at these carts here, these rickety old carts. They look almost as if they've been abandoned. But another thing Fukuoka is really famous for are its street food. And these carts, every single night, they'll roll out of here, go onto the streets, they'll set up, they connect to the mains water, they'll have sinks. Basically, kitchen sinks, washing up areas, cooking areas, and they'll be preparing the most delicious ramen, different types of eats, fried chicken, karagi. Quite amazing. I've seen guys walking down the streets around about sort of 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, towing these things, and within about an hour or so they're all set up. Complete kitchen, cooking, people sat round little tables, they've got chairs, everything contained in these little pop-up, I'm not sure what they're called. They're just food carts, yeah, but there's a Japanese name for them. Maybe someone can let us know in the comments down below. So we're virtually in the next suburb, or Hakata, from Tenjin to Hakata. And I said to Michelle at the beginning of this walk, what if we don't see anything? But now, I've never been out for a walk in Fukuoka and not stumbled across something really cool. Oh shit, no, that's too much. Try and relax, try and relax, try and relax.